Assalamu alaikum. Let's hear some noise. Let's hear you all. Hello. Hi there. You know, is this okay? Is it working all right? Yeah. You know, when I walked in and I saw this audience, I said, wow, what's happening here? I had no clue of how big and how tall you all are. Amazing. So let me start by saying, when I was approached, which was about 2 days ago, to come and engage with you all, and I got a very, very kind message from Fatima explaining what had happened. I took a few moments to ponder because I had just landed back in Pakistan. And I said, you know, what do I do? I won't have missed this opportunity. For me, it's not an accident. For me, I'm not filling in. It's an opportunity. And I grabbed this opportunity happily. And that's the difference, because if I had pondered and rationalized and said, oh, what do I talk and how do I prepare myself, etc., I would have missed this opportunity. And for me, the most important part of this saying yes was to be with you all and to share some of my thoughts, some of my experiences, and hopefully, as the topic says, which is extremely relevant, wonder. And I must compliment the MC, Omar, that I think he really got to the gist of this subject today. He really got to the gist. And curiosity and learning is absolutely the key to everything in life. Let's keep it simple. Twinkle, twinkle. When did Twinkle, Twinkle happen? Many decades ago. Many decades ago. And we still saw that today, staged here, beautifully. Yes, as time goes by, you're right, blinkers come on and we start making all sorts of judgments. But let's park that for a moment. So today, I would like to share with you my own stories, but also put before you some of the trends that we see are impacting all of us and how we have to future-proof ourselves. It's easy to keep talking about the past, but let's today also wander into the future. You know, opportunity is very important, and especially for women, and sometimes, and men, and sometimes we miss simple opportunities, which can be trigger points in our lives. It's not about careers, it's our life. I'll go back many decades ago when I had maybe just about become a marketing manager or something like that. And there was a very big visit happening in Unilever from the executive. And he was the chairman of the Unilever board worldwide. I was called in about 2 hours before his visit to the office because my boss fell sick. And I was asked to present the whole division. One moment I thought, I don't know anything, I've just started this new assignment and you know, how can I go and present? I just said yes, because I thought it is the biggest opportunity in my life to be able to face this gentleman. Now, I could have said, oh, I don't know enough. I could have bombed out the whole situation. So I collaborated with a very smart colleague, and he and I, in maybe 1 hour or 2 hours, prepared maybe 5 charts. We started with 15, 20, and then I realized, what am I talking about? And we condensed it into 5. And what were those 5 charts? They were in my circle of competence. So while I did not know the whole universe of Unilever, my circle of competence was consumer and market opportunity. So all I talked about, because I had about 15 minutes maybe or 10 minutes, was consumer opportunity. I think it was a trigger point in my career, and that's why I'm sharing this with you. A trigger point for future. So sometimes I try to give this example to say, don't be afraid. Take the bets. Go forward. Never stay on the outer circle. Jump in. And it's not about what was said correctly this morning, right or wrong. It is about you, and it is about how you can project yourself. So very important. And most of the time we lose out because we analyze too much, we procrastinate too much. Take the bets, make a few mistakes. I've made several. The first failure I started with in my career was as early as in my first year of being a brand manager. Complete failure. The launch bombed out. There was a major write-off. Now I could have sat and said, it's over for me, let me look for a new job. I think I learned so much from that failure, and luckily, thank God, I used my head and didn't make the same mistakes again and again, because that's not acceptable. And I think I did pretty well after that. So, you know, a lot of people said to me, you're not going to go anywhere. You will retire as an assistant brand manager or something like that. Did I care? Of course not. The point I'm making here is about absorbing difficult times, absorbing failure, but taking action to rise beyond it. And what was that action, you think? It was knowledge. It was absolutely trying to get to the core of what matters, the expertise. And that's very, very important. I think knowledge is confidence. And we must all seek to get into the nitty-gritty of life. It's not whether I was asked, are you a homemaker, are you a corporate? I don't know. I'm neither of these things. However, I know my subject. So it's very, very important that we gain confidence through expertise. Now, if I wander around a little bit, what are the 4 trends that we see are really what are called changing the horizon of how we manage ourselves? The 4 trends that I believe are commonly now accepted, it's not just my belief. The first major trend is AI and automation, absolutely disrupting our way of life. Second is organizational diversity. Third, it is about the talent quality and the talent that we need in these situations. It's very different what we had in the past. And of course, it has to do with skill versus traditional qualifications. This is the 4th trend. A lot of time, when at least I started, it was about academic traditional qualifications. Today, it's a lot about skill also. So these are the 4 trends which are transformational, and they are changing the horizon. It is in this sphere that we have to develop our strategies, we have to develop our expertise, and that is where the sustained growth will come. AI and automation is a reality. There should be no discussion on is it happening and is it, what is, it's a reality. It's like what Jeff Bezos said, it's like an electric wire which goes from one end to another end. It's electricity, which means it touches every aspect of our life. In this situation, how do we manage ourselves? Some of the questions, we don't have all the answers. How do we manage the businesses? How do we manage our daily life? Absolutely key. What is the talent we need? So when we have HR heads of big organizations sitting here, this is what the talent strategies have to address, the digital aspect of talent. And I'm sure they're doing that. But it's absolutely the most critical sphere of the new trend. Second, I don't say diversity. I deliberately say organization diversity. There's a lot of whitewashing, about diversity. People talk about diversity, women. No, that's not the point at all. Organization diversity has to do with the strategic importance of building a culture which is inclusive and which is embedded in tolerance. Organizational culture. And at the heart of that culture, then, you have men and women issue. But it is not about, women getting senior jobs or women just going into the C-suite. It is building the foundations for leadership, which include values like tolerance, inclusion, most important, tolerance. And it's a mindset change. I'm happy to see quite a few men also, because I think it really starts with men and women. It's not just about a woman thing. So that mindset change is happening. I think Fahad mentioned, it's changing, and over time we can see that. I started my career in '83, long time ago. Some of you were not born. When I started my career in '83, let me paint you the picture of Unilever office, 1983. All men. One woman in HR, Marjorie Rahman, who recruited me because she was my teacher in grammar school in A-levels. One woman, departmental head level, or maybe just a manager in HR. All men. Secretaries were men, assistants were men. And I started in research, where there were some women, the research side of Unilever. After 3 years of research, I realized this is not what I am going to spend the rest of my life doing. It's great. I've learned about the market. I've learned about competition. I've learned about consumer. Perfect. But 3 years have gone, and nothing is happening. I'm still stuck in this corner somewhere. So I decided either I'm going to transition into marketing or I will have to think something else. One person took the bets on me, the chairman of the company, against all odds. Everybody would say, oh, you're very good at your work, but what's happening? I'm still where I am and nothing is happening. So why am I good? He took the bets, and I think the first movement was brand manager serve. Everybody was skeptical. Oh, you'll go away, you won't survive, no woman survives with all these men, etc. In short, there's a lot of myth busting that you have to do. Women can get married, have children, have a great life. Nothing stops. Often I'm asked this question, maybe because it's a single life, you've been successful. No, it's because it's a planned life. I have a planner for everything. It's discipline. It's resilience. I don't break up under the most trying situations. In fact, there is more pain in the kind of jobs we do than anything else. And that pain has to be absorbed. We've got to resize our egos, resize them. And when you absorb that pain, then you can go forward. There has to be resilience in failure. So that was the environment. And today you'll all say that couldn't have been the case. There are more women on the management committee than anywhere else. Women call the shots. So the point is, it's you, your confidence, your mission, and absolutely not accepting what exists. You've got to be a challenger. And once you're a challenger, and you go forward. That's very clear. And that environment nobody believes, but it existed. A second story. I was in my mid-career when we acquired Polka. So Unilever decided I would be the Polka acquisition manager into Polka. Polka had an office in Metropole. I walked up the steps, very dirty, terrible. I said, where am I going? Walked into the office, all fairly old men sitting there. Of course, no women, except one who was the receptionist. I asked her, where is the ladies' toilet? She said, there's no ladies' toilet. I go to the toilet, somebody stands outside and stops the men from coming in. I said, how do you accept that? Anyway, the poor thing. So the first thing I went back and said to my HR head at Unilever, until you put a toilet in, I'm not going to work in the Polka office. Now you all may think how simple, silly. No, it's self-esteem. I'm not going to have somebody stand. There's no acceptance. It was done because I made a point. So sometimes be confident, ask, and demand. Be demanding. A lot of women are shy of being demanding. They don't even demand an increase in their salaries. They should. Be demanding. And when you're demanding, you'll get what you want to get. Anyway, not just the toilet happening, but the whole situation I had to manage was very experienced men who knew about ice cream. All their life they had done ice cream. I had no clue about ice cream. No clue. I had come back from UK from a posting. I knew about personal care. I knew about all Unilever products. Nothing to do with ice cream. So I decided they would be the experts on ice cream. I would help them to lead the company. So you do what is best and what you can deliver in your circle of competence. And you let others deliver in their circle of competence. These are stories to say and give you the confidence. Ask, be demanding, and there are no rules for top jobs. It's you. It's in your sphere. Are you going to stand by and watch time go by? Or are you going to shape and influence? Shaping and influencing is leadership. Now it's up to you. It is certainly up to you. It is not just somebody out there, the organization, and we all have somebody to fall back on. No, fall back on yourself and say, how am I going to create a flywheel, a mindset for growth? It's a flywheel. And you create that flywheel for yourself. And it starts with your mindset. Then it starts with behaviors, and then actions. So mindset, behavior, actions. And then you shape the dialogue. You shape the organization culture. It's doable. It's very doable. There's no rocket science to what I'm talking about. So, when we reflect on today's subject, we really have to question our traditional thought process. Today, if I were to start again, I would have done my talent strategies very differently. As I said, these are shifting sands. And you know what shifting sands means? It means you have to be so agile that you don't know what's coming and hitting you today or tomorrow or this moment. Very agile, more agile than what we normally think. Second, besides agility, you need knowledge and expertise to quickly decide to move. Third, you need instinct and gut. You should never be scared of your instinct and gut. Whenever I have put my instinct and gut behind analysis and facts, I messed up. So instinct and gut is absolutely, don't ever let anybody tell you it doesn't matter. It matters. Data matter, instinct and guts. 2008, the whole world economy was coming down. Massively, the banks were bankrupt. And Pakistan was in turmoil, 2008. When we presented the business plan for starting L'Oreal in Pakistan, everybody asked, is this the right time? There's no right time. We live in turmoil, and that is what shifting sands are. So we've got to grab and know how we can manage. There is no right time. And 2009, we established L'Oreal in Pakistan. Why? The focus was on the consumer opportunity, not on turmoil. Turmoils come and go, but where would the 200 million plus consumers go? They are here, right? 250 now. So therefore, focus on the big picture. Focus on a big vision. Don't be afraid. Don't think small. You'll do small. When you think big, you think Burj Khalifa, tall, you will make it. You will do it. So therefore, I think these are common sense areas that we are discussing, but I just wanted to give you the confidence that this flywheel can be developed by you, all of you sitting here. The very fact that you are here, you can do it. And feel confident and feel good about it, and just go ahead and do it in your lives, whatever that definition may be. You don't have to be a corporate or a homemaker. You can be anybody, and do it, is what I would say. So thank you for this opportunity. I would like to take a couple of questions just to engage you all and to know what's on your mind. And please don't be fearful of asking anything that you would like to. Men and women both are allowed. Who's the brave one here? Okay. So you see, silence is, again, a little dangerous. So feel comfortable to engage, feel comfortable to ask, feel comfortable to, probe, curiosity. What did we say? We are here for curiosity. We are here to learn. We are here to open our minds. There's no right or wrong. I see one person. Yes? No? You'll need the mic.
किसको चाहिए?
Assalamu alaikum, ma'am. Thank you for your motivational speech. It was really delightful to hear you. What I want to ask you that when you got married and you were managing your house, how did you do so with 2 kids, and how did you make a perfect work-life balance? Well, I know Unilever provide daycare, but other than that, how did you manage your home? Because the expectation at that point in time were different for a female than now. People are more receptive toward a working woman now than previously. Can you please elaborate on that?
Sure. Simple. I am a single person, so I didn't have either a husband or children to take care of. So, but that's besides the point. But I would like to, put this. There hasn't been a day in my working life when men and women have not talked about work-life balance. I can tell you that. And what has been my response all the time? It's a non-issue. Work-life balance is in your hands. Create the balance. There is no such thing, this is work and this is whatever, life. It's one. It goes like this. And to me, and again, you all will maybe be wondering how I'm saying this, it's how you plan your day. It's how you plan your life. If I'm having a bad day and I prefer to go to the salon instead of lunch, that's my choice. If I have a baby and I get 3 months off, it's good. And I want another 3 months off, so I go and ask my boss, can I take unpaid leave for 3 months? Fine, it's your choice. If I have to go home at 5 o'clock, sometimes I may not be able to, but every day I don't need to sit till 9 o'clock. I have to plan my work. So for me, it's very healthy to have a partner in life, to have children. You have to make choices. Sometimes you may have to just put your career like this, and it can't be a steep curve all the time. Fine, but I'm happy. I'm happy with that. So, We make a big deal about work life. Think of it as life, and think of it as choices. Think of it as being a bit disciplined, and slot it in that it happens. So this is my response. It may or may not be gelling with many views, but that's how at least I conducted my life. And it's not about being single or being married or having children. You can do both. Sometimes you have to slow down in order to take care of some family issues, so slow down. If your kids are very small and you need to go for 1 hour during your lunch break, do that. Go and be with them. If you have to say to your boss for 3 months, I need a little bit of flexibility in my work hours, do that. So it's how you want to manage, and it's manageable. If your bosses are so behind times, and I cannot understand this, change your job. Yeah, honestly. So, good question. I would have surprised myself if this didn't come, because all my working life, this question has come to me. One more question?
Assalamualaikum, ma'am.
Assalamu alaikum.
It's an honor to hear you and have you here. I've been working for the banking industry almost for 1.5 decades. So I've been into multinationals and normal local private banks and everything. But just one thing that I wanted your advice or maybe some pointers on would be like what we talked about before. You see, there are a lot of women when they come in some bank, and there are very less of them everywhere. But now State Bank is like putting pressure, like we should have more women in the working industry, financial institutes, let it be every organization. So particularly in banking sectors, where you think there are like more men and less women, how do we like kind of, we do have some situations at times that when you're basically cornered and you just, you are wanting to have that chance to go forward and you do have the confidence, but basically it's about the chance that if you are given that chance, then you can prove that you can, go further and grow basically. With being single, married or no, that doesn't really matter. That's just life, like you said. We understand that, respect that. But I just need some pointers from you. It will be an honor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Good, very good, because recently I was with the banking, forum, and you hardly saw any women there. So you're very right in your observation and all that. But let's just talk about how do we make the change. How do we make the change? To begin with, we don't wait for opportunities. We grab opportunities. Remember that. Anybody who waits will miss the boat. So you grab opportunities when they come. You don't listen to your people around you who say, oh, this job, you're in a khada line. This won't take you anywhere. Or somebody says, don't do this because, you will be off the radar. I've heard this about myself many times. So you've got to really not constantly be taken by what others are saying, but you've got to, yes, you've also got to grab opportunities. Most of us, even at very senior levels, I can tell you, miss the opportunities because we have blinkers. I think Noman, he said it, the Punjabi word I don't know, but blinkers. So that's the first thing, grab it. And don't be shy. Don't be shy. Second, I think there is an issue in the whole banking field, and I think it's almost a worldwide issue. And anytime you have to make change, let me give you some tips. It starts with the CEO of the company, the head of the company, and it starts with the management committee. This change will not happen unless and until the management committee and the head of the organization drive it. It's always from the top. Mindset changes also happen when you put in the performance appraisal a certain goal which says, I need to see 30% women in your division. Believe me, it will change because then you're measured. My boss, till the time I was CEO in L'Oreal, put a measure which said, I need to see X% expatriation from Pakistan into France. They wanted to, because of the talent here, they said this is a talent factory for us. So, we've got to take measures like this. And when you get the championing of this at the top level, then the change starts to happen. And it happens. I can vouch for that. So, it's a journey. Nothing happens in a moment. It's a journey. I described to you 1983, which was 40 years ago, I think. And today, look at Unilever. L'Oreal, we always had a good representation of women. And many organizations today, I see women in senior jobs. I see women doing so well. So, change happens. Sometimes we have to take some measures which are very clear. And if you do not achieve this goal, your bonus will be impacted. They'll change once you say that to any banker, that the bonus will be impacted. So, you've got to call the shots. Thank you. So I thank you all very much. I leave you with the thought process which says, be bold, shatter some myths, shatter them. You're proving to no one but yourself. It's your self-esteem, it's your pride, and take the bets as they come, see the opportunities, shape the future for yourself. Develop this flywheel which helps you to get to whatever your mission is, whatever your life desires are. We try, and then God disposes. Thank you very much. Thank you all. Thank you.